So, they wanted me to make a video about the current situation of things, and I think it's tough. Okay, I think we should talk about it, right? It's a tough time. Dollar is at the all-time high. Not all-time high because that's gone to 1,009 and it's back down to 1,005, 1,006. It's always fluctuating between 1,005, 1,006. Hopefully, it comes down to 1,000 or less, and then we can actually get some relief. But it's a tough time. Every business owner, everybody is grappling and struggling with, especially those of us that report our revenues in USD. It's a tough time. Even the consumers are poorer than they used to be. People have less money this year than they did last year. By virtue of no fault of theirs, the cost of power has gone up. The cost of every single thing has gone up because again, we do everything that we do as a dovetails back into USD. There's a sideline dovetail. The chicken that we eat, the feed is imported. It's crazy. When even the catfish, some people have some meals, but when you look at the components, the equipment might come from somewhere that is dollar denominated. The millets, some of the things that they use is foreign based. And somebody asked me recently is that, Bayo, what would you do? What would I encourage people to do differently? Number one, all of us must be intentional about making sure that our naira stays longer here before it goes outside for import. What do I mean? For every time that you can make a decision to buy a locally made good, I think we should. I think that's the only way we can help. Right? I strongly believe that our leaders are doing the best that they can to figure out a solution to it. We might not like it, we might have contrary opinions, but okay, let me go back to this leadership thing. I personally, I have this opinion that we don't have as much information as the leader. And sometimes we only are able to provide solutions by the things that we are aware of, not understanding the things that we are not aware of. And so I always believe that whoever is leader and is leading us is doing the best based on the information available to them that maybe the citizens are not privy to. So, but that's a conversation for another day. We can argue about it. Hey, come to the argue bar to argue up with me about it. But again, that's a different opinion. But I ask myself, what can we do as leaders? What can we do as technology builders? What can we do as entrepreneurs to actually start to reduce that? Number one, we have to start to build technology for ourselves. One of the biggest costs that a lot of us have is dollar-denominated technology. Dollar-denominated technology. And until we start to think differently, and as a country starts, and again, somebody who's saying enable environment, and I say because people get rich people still get rich within this economy, right? Again, there's opportunities here, and I think there's a lot of places where we as entrepreneurs can do different. Is how do we start to think about building things that make meaning, not just building things that are popular, but building things that actually have impact. And one of it, and I'll go straight to it, is the restaurant business, right? Do you know that a lot of the technology that we use in the restaurant business is foreign paid? To collect orders and produce orders and do this. I know somebody will send me something and I always say that the things that we find that are available locally is not fit for purpose. It's not completely fit for purpose. And it's so hard to manage it because it opens it up for fraud. How do we build fit for purpose? I have challenged my fintech brothers and sisters. I've challenged my folks, the people I work with. I've challenged everyone that how do we start to build technology? The Wakanao technology, the website and everything that we use is built locally. It is built locally, but it's still hosted on Azure. Some of your servers are hosted on Google. We are paying our hard-earned naira, right, to pay server costs in USD. That is the challenge. And that's some of the things we can start to do different. Now, can I use a server provider that is local? Do they have the reliability? Can they keep my website up? right? Can they sign? Can they come and sign contracts with us that says that I will have a 99.9% uptime, and if I don't, this is what it costs, right? This is what I'll pay you, and let us put a skin in the game. Let us start to have those conversations, because I think the future is for Africans to start to build for Africa. That's the future. And that's how we make a change, and not just sit back and complain. And that is how we make a true change in our economy. And because again, I'm not lying, it is tough. It is tough to even think, because thinking is becoming expensive. It is expensive. It is expensive to even think right now in this country and across Africa. But again, it's not easy. I was reading an article that said there's more bankruptcy in Canada than has been in years. Right? Again, it's a tough time. It's a tough time. Maybe post-pandemic impact, maybe 4 years post-pandemic, maybe all the bubble of the money pumped to the economy is actually going away, and we're facing the realities of the pandemic. I don't know. But I know something just has to give, and we have to think differently. And I'm challenging, that's one area that I'm challenging, that we can do something different and not wait for government or anyone, but we can do something different. Yes, we can do better with steady power. Of course, if anybody, government is listening, we can do better with steady power at the minimum. Because again, if a data center is powered on generator and they have to run diesel costs at some point, they might consider turning it off. But again, I say to everyone, hang in there. Let's start making these micro decisions differently and think about our country, because again, that's all we have.